Okie dokie, right. So if we look at these setups, that one on the left for me is a little bit extreme. You're leaning quite a bit to the left there, and you sort of do rock around a little bit, sort of trying to find that thing, moving back and forth, side to side, and never really kind of got comfortable. If we can kind of build a sequence now into your setup, feet together, let the left arm kind of hang down from the shoulders there, pretty much straight shoulder, elbow, hands to the shaft there, to the golf club, okay? Just create a nice sort of sequence there. Then step your feet apart and not so wide with the feet, okay? So at least there now you're not quite as extreme in terms of the width of stance. And I think as well you're getting a little bit nearer the ball. You weren't sort of stretching quite so much just by building this sequence into your setup, okay? The swing you had before, okay? You got very tilty on your left, so that knee kinks in a lot. Your spine angle now is tilted quite a lot that way, okay? So in this position, you're in a very, very steep orientation. That's going to come down the golf ball quite aggressively from a downward angle. Now with a 7, 8, 9 iron wedge, brilliant, you get the ball nicely, hit it quite a long way. With this driver, we can't be in the golf ball with a steep angle of attack, okay? We do hit down on the ball slightly, but there's down on the ball and there's coming down like a Harrier jump jet vertically down, okay? It's just too steep and you just can't get out of your own way, and you've got to try and then sort of create some movement. As we said, when you come to the golf ball here now, you can see as you're sort of almost moving now left of that golf ball. Now your shoulders and body are trying to sort of pop up and get out of their own way. At impact now, your chest is aiming kind of out to the left there, cutting across the golf ball, right shoulder very active and very sort of hitting through it with a bit too much energy, and the club face now just left aiming at here. Ball then starts there and basically curves off to the right. Now if you release the club and maybe corkscrew your hand, which you might sort of instinctively do if there's a load of trouble right, you'll smother it low left, or potentially you just get the old one that just strip your left nostril and you sky it, okay? So if we compare this back swing to where you were there, this on the right hand side was the one towards the end there where you felt you said a bit off balance, okay, as you go back. So there's a nice little bit of tilt there. That's where I want to get you. Now you go a bit further, okay, but look at the movement there in terms of your spine angle. You're behind the golf ball, okay, you're turning, you're not swaying, you're just starting behind the ball and staying there.
Yeah.
Because you're used to your head kind of going this way, when it sort of stays there, it feels like it's moving off to the right there, yeah? So you go back a little bit further, as I said there, okay, but that's not exaggerated as much as you feel, obviously. Now through the ball as you come back, this right shoulder's got to kind of stay back as you release this club, okay? So as you come into impact there,
Still going forward.
that's fine. That's all right. That's a reasonable release there, okay? That right shoulder now is sort of staying a little bit more underneath, okay? And the so-called flippy feeling with your hand as you come to the golf ball, just to release the club there now to target, yeah? As you release through there now nicely up onto that left side, okay? So the release of that club, again, it's going to take a bit of practice, obviously, learning that face position, okay? But the release of the club's not that much more than what you were, and at the moment now it feels hugely changed, yeah? So it's going to take a little bit of time to get, I think for me, I don't mind you sort of staying closest to where you were, because then you're kind of nearer your comfort and just sort of move away from it gradually. If I said to you, now release it more, you'd be like, no way. I mean, I'll miss the golf ball, okay? But the golf ball is still spinning on some of these shots more than the 1,000 RPM we want to really sort of try and get under. So as a target, again, use the impact bag if you want. So just in one of these bays here, when you come down here, even before you go and tee off, just have a few, just smacks that, okay? Get some stress out of your body, nice and relaxed, okay? Good warm up, all right? And get the sensation, obviously keeping that right shoulder back behind the golf ball. If it's stuff you can do at home, okay, just trying to get that release of that club, almost make some swings, I mean, on the garden or sort of on a welcome mat or a door mat, something, just get some sort of feels of the hand, the arm striking, release, and as you just staying behind it. The problem is, so many things online, TikTok and YouTube, they say shaft lean, don't flick it. But the thing is, a lot of times when guys kind of do things to extreme, they push the hand so far forward, the face is miles open. And they think, oh, yeah, I must get shaft lean, must get this. And a lot of these buzzwords that get floated around online, yeah, they're not wrong. We do want shaft lean, but how you create shaft lean is sort of staying behind the ball and your arms coming through and allowing the club to release. But that split moment of impact, okay, if you look at all the tour players, okay, as you come into impact here now, okay, there's impact, they'd have their kind of shaft there and their heads behind the golf ball, okay, as they come through, they're releasing the arms, they're not going to just keep pushing their hands further forward like a cricket shot. Otherwise, to do that, they're going to be opening the club face in the downswing, and the back of their left wrist now is going to be this way rather than that way. So a lot of movements that sort of come into play do take a little bit of getting used to.
Yeah.
And what feels to you one thing is not
None of
that
it. I'm not gonna
until,
look
of
at it,
course, you hit what I was in there, that 2,500 right to left.
Yeah.
So it's just learning feeling again. For me to cure a slice, we've got to hit left. One of the things I think I saw someone said, Rick Shields and a few of the guys that have proposed, and I agree with it completely, to cure a slice, we hit a hook. Literally get the ball going left, 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 with the right release of the club, and feel overly flicking. In some way, just manipulate the golf club.
Yeah.
Feel, what if I do this, what's that going to do? What's the ball flight numbers going to get? Yes, we'll look at distance as a total thing, but look at the spin. That's the key thing. When that spin comes down, as in the side spin, the direction or the total distance will go up.
Yeah.
Because a ball that spins like this is not going to go as far as a ball that kind of goes that way. Yeah. So we'll take a bit of practice. Okay. Keep in contact. If you're on the golf course, or if you do it on the range, or when you're in and stuff, send some videos through to me back. I'll send it through to you now when we get off the session. Keep in contact. Keep sort of updates how things go. If you're on the golf course and it just goes completely wrong, let me know. Don't feel, oh God, I don't want to embarrass them. If you say, look, I've started hitting this, and having seen your swing now, I've got a good understanding of what you do and how kind of things tick, we can kind of just put some thoughts in you. Say, okay, well, maybe on the golf course, try this. I think in reality, until you feel comfortable with the driver and you're hitting the ball left with a different driver, I wouldn't really try and go to it on the golf course too much anyway. Stick with what you're doing. And go forward in kind of that regard, okay? But any questions on that? Does that kind of make sense, in you?
No, that's all good.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely makes a lot of sense.
Cool.